Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I am going to do a collective for today. Today is Friday. It, it is August 21st, 2026. I heard Thursday. Like I was supposed to say Thursday instead of Friday, and then I heard April. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever doesn't, just leave it on the table for someone else. You don't need to take on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use Intuitive Kev's Kipperish deck. Kevin Thomas Jr. He has an Etsy shop. He has 3 decks. You can buy them separately. You can buy them together. I suggest buying the bundle because it is well worth it. You probably save like $30, 20, $30 maybe. We got 1 on the table, 2 on the table. A boss is concerned. A boss has concern. Oh. This isn't a boss. This is a boss. We got 4 on the table. There's somebody out there. There's somebody out there that they have an op. I wanted to say mortal enemies, and then I heard Mortal Kombat in my head. Okay, so let me say it like this. Somebody knows that they don't like another person to the point where like they feel like they would do anything to get rid of this person. Like somebody would love to single-handedly bring chaos to someone's existence. And they know they feel like this. And whereas when they first started to feel like this, they might have like reveled in it, right? They might have been like, well, yeah, I can feel that way. I can do whatever I want. Blah, blah, blah. But now they're getting to the point where they're like, why do I feel like this? Like, why do I not like this person? And why can't I let it go? Like somebody wants to know why they can't let something go. And it's about an op. It's about, and I don't even, let me pull some more cards. I don't think this opposition either knows or I don't think they look at a situation like that, but this boss person does because they think they're the boss. But again, it's like they're awakening up to the fact that, like, why do I feel like that? Yeah. We got poverty, please help in the reverse. It came out in the reverse. Like at one time, I'm just going to show you the cards. At one time, they thought like I would kick this person's ass. I would wreck their whole life and not give 2 shits about it. But now they're sitting in almost like they're sitting in like self-judgment. Like somebody's looking at themselves and not liking what they see. It's called taking accountability, honey. It's called waking up and realizing like you done fucked up. You done fucked up. Your girl has done that many times. Many, many times I've done that. Many, many times I have thought I was in the right, thought I was doing the right thing, thought I was treating somebody the right way. Or in the wrong way, but it was okay, right? And then, a few days, a few weeks later, it's like, oh, I'm the asshole. Like I'm the jerk. Right? And I'm not saying in every situation. There are some situations where people deserve to be treated the way that they're treated. There are some situations where, yes, you should ghost people and just fucking walk away and save your peace. There are other situations where, yes, you should say something and fuck them, I always believe, like, as long as you don't live in regret, as long as you're not hurting yourself and someone else, say what you need to say, do what you got to do. somebody is concerned for themselves. It's like, I don't know why I feel this way. Like, I thought I did, but now I don't. Now I don't know why I feel this way. 2 more shuffles. Again, it's just a part of healing. This is literally somebody waking up and realizing, like, not only did I have hate in my heart for someone else, but it probably technically was holding on to hate for myself, self-hatred, self-loathing. Last shuffle. Six on the table. Seven. 8 with bottom of the... 8 with bottom of the deck. Why did I know it was going to come out like that? Bottom of the deck is community, awakening, moving on from conflict. There could be a group of people finally coming to terms with the fact that they were wrong in a situation. Maybe they judged someone or someone's incorrectly, and now they're healing from that, and they're moving away from conflict. Like, they're moving forward with an open heart. A community could literally be going through an awakening. A community could be a family, a group of friends, church, work, neighbors, whatever the case. But it's a group of people collectively. I feel like they were holding in their breath. Like, even though they kind of woke up and they're healing and they're taking accountability and they're moving on from a situation, it's like they're holding their breath. It's almost like they're waiting for their karma to kick in. Does that make sense? And it's kind of like that. When's it going to hit? Baby, you'll never know that. You'll never know that. My karma is always so darn quick. Like, I say something or do something, and instantly it's like God's like slapping me in the face. And I usually don't do anything that bad to where, like, I get anything really bad. But, like, if I have a negative thought about somebody and it's not really warranted, like, usually it's at work, right? Because I spend most of my days at work. I'll get like little paper cuts. I'll kind of sprain. I don't know what to call it. I have neuropathy, so sometimes my hands are in pain. Sometimes they're numb, and when you move them and they're in pain or they're numb, sometimes it literally feels like they're like on fire, and you just want to cut off your fingers. Sometimes I'll get that, like, without warning. There's top of the deck is Ice Queen, Change, Evil Eye, Family, The Veil, and Real Love. There's an Ice Queen out there. There's that was like somebody just pushed those cards out of my hand, y'all. Like, I'm not even kidding. There's an Ice Queen. There's a karmic out there that was doing some crazy shit, all because they couldn't find real love. Join the club. I don't I believe in love. I believe in true love, right? I've told you guys before. I was Aphrodite in a past life, the goddess of love. But here's the thing. The older you get and the more time that goes on, you believe that there's no love for you other than God and yourself and your 3 cats, right? And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I still want love for everybody else. Somebody's waking up to the fact that they did some crazy shit in the name of love. not really recognizing in the moment that what they were doing was highly toxic and karmic, and that they actually didn't really know what love really was. They could have been a part of this community that's waking up. All right, let me show you what we got. We got 8 cards on the table. Boss, I'm still having trouble like breathing. I still feel like concern. I've been having like tummy pains all day. I think it was something I ate last night. We got opposition. We got destruction. We got the poverty. Please help in the reverse. Here's the 3 cards that I was not surprised came out at all. We got relationship. Ascending. Can you guess what the bottom of the deck is? Priestess. Feminine, masculine, take out resonates. I'm going to call the boss, the priestess, the priestess. This opposition is the priestess. The boss probably was subconsciously in love with this priestess the whole time, wanted to be in a relationship with them, but was seeing them as opposition, maybe some type of deep-seated need to compete. And they had it in their head like, no, they're your opposition. Like, you guys are like totally different. You guys are competing for the same thing. Could have been a job, could have been like fame on social media. Who knows? And like I said, this boss at one time wanted to destroy this person's life. And now they're waking up to the fact, like, why do I want to do that? And they're really waking up to the fact that this is how they felt about them the whole time. This is somebody that's... Oh, there's a little clock up there. This is somebody that's in deep contemplation, hermit mode. They could have been like this for months or are going to be like this for months. Take how it resonates. This is somebody when they woke up to the fact that their feelings, their thoughts were not valid, and that they in fact might actually be in love with this priestess, this op. It really threw them for a loop, whoever this boss is. They're worried that this priestess, this opposition that they know, they're worried that they know. They're worried that they know. They're worried that they know that they wanted to literally tear their life apart. Because now it's like they're starting to feel the complete opposite. Let me just say this, and I've said this before, right? Like, I have had so many people in my life thinking that they were in competition with me for stuff, and I just thought that they were friends, family. I just loved them, you know. The ex-best friend, I mean, she was my sister to me. Apparently, the last probably 10, 15 years that we were friends, she thought we were in competition. For what? For a dude? Man, I don't give a shit about no fucking dude. I'd rather have my sister, you know? Like, who gives a fuck? And I've had women like that my whole life. My mom, other women, women at work, older women, younger women. Dude, don't compete with me. Be my friend. Don't compete with me. Be my fucking friend. Be loyal. As I was loyal to you. Be loyal. Be good. Be kind. I don't want to say be like me because I want you to be like you, but seriously, like, I've had that my whole fucking life, and usually from women. This is probably my mom not wanting me to talk about it. Okay, let me take another drink. Hold on a second. I like it. It's kind of cloudy out there. I didn't tell you guys this. I haven't said anything about it, or maybe I have, but I don't think I have. The guy that I was in love with last year, if you follow, subscribe, you guys know what I'm talking about. Younger guy I work with, fell in love with him. Still think he's absolutely adorable. Now that I've walked away from the situation, it's been a little over a year. Now I just really want the best for him. I want healing for him. I want growth for him. I want him to find a job under his fucking degree and get out of the warehouse. He doesn't belong there. And I said that to him last year when we were still friends. You don't belong here. You're meant for better. And I really and truly believe that. I do. I don't want him to get involved with some broad in our department, some broad in the warehouse, and get stuck there because he gets pregnant, or, he decides to marry somebody and they think that working at the warehouse the rest of their lives is just great. Like, I don't want to be there the rest of my life. And I don't even hate it. Technically, usually I love my job, and I like the people, most of the people I work with, but I don't want to spend the rest of my life there. I don't. I want financial freedom, just like everybody else. I don't want him to be stuck there. The thing that I didn't tell you guys is, and maybe you could kind of get it from, me talking about this in the past, but the fact that I always felt like in the background, like he's secretly watching me, tracking my movements, looking at like who I was talking to and interacting with, and then he would go and talk to them and interact with them. And it was giving like a stalkerish, creepy vibe. And I don't know if it's because he thought I was doing that. I mean, I wasn't doing that. I was just moving away from him because that's what I thought he wanted. He never wanted to talk about anything last year. So I tried to move away as best I could. And I didn't intend to hurt him or anything like that. So if I ever did that, I'm absolutely sorry. But I just thought that that's what he wanted. But when I look back on the situation and I think about certain moments over the past year, I get the feeling that he thought we were in competition. Like, we broke up and now we're in competition. Like, who's going to make more friends in the warehouse? Who's going to make more friends in the department? Who's going to get the boss to like them, right? Because we always have two supervisors, one lead underneath the supervisors. Now we're going to have a second lead underneath the supervisors. And some people are saying we're supposed to get a third supervisor. I don't know. I don't know. But like looking back, it just made me think that he had put us in competition for things that we didn't need to be in competition for. And again, I don't know that that's necessarily wholly correct, but it's just an instinct. It's just a gut feeling. It's just my intuition telling me that for some reason he thought we were in some weird competition. And I hope he didn't feel like that. I hope I'm just maybe projecting, maybe. I hope, because I would not want him to feel like that. Like, there's no need to feel like that. Going through all the stuff I went with the best friend, my mom, and other women in my life, the two women with the guy I was in love with, like, I don't do competition. I just don't do competition. I live my life the way I want to live it. And when I see that in someone else, like someone thinking we're in competition, it totally turns me the fuck off. Totally turns me the fuck off. And I can honestly say that last year when him and I weren't talking, and I kind of got the feeling like he thought I was going to come back and say something, even though I was the last one to say something. Like, I was already moving away from that situation, A, because that's what I thought he wanted, and B, because I was starting to get that feeling already last year that he had us in competition for some weird shit. And it's like, I don't do competition, so see ya. And I've always been like that. I'm not going to do it. I don't know that this priestess knew that this was going on behind the scenes with the boss, that they were thinking like this. I would say because they're a priestess and they're ascending, and this boss wants a relationship to move forward with the priestess, which is another reason why ascending is there. I think they had an idea. I think they had an idea. Like I had an idea about the guy I was in love with. I think they have an idea. I don't think they put a lot of stock into it. I don't think they look at it like that. I don't think they think about it that often because I think this priestess probably has their own shit going on in the background, right? As they should. Huh. I think this boss really needs to sit down and think about this. Because if the priestess knows that they were doing some fuckery in the background, that they wanted to destroy their life, cause chaos, whatever the case, and that priestess knows this, I mean, I don't know that there's any coming back from that. It depends on how the priestess views things like that. How much they have their guard up, how often they stick to their boundaries. Would they let their boundaries down for the right person? But I think this boss figure is really going into hermit mode to think about this. And again, like I said, I think this is going to be like months. If they're not already doing it, they're going to start. And also with the poverty, please help in reverse. I also think that pertains to this boss's healing and the fact that they're going into hermit mode. They don't want help. This is somebody that wants to do a deep dive within on their own. Like I want to figure out how to heal. I want to figure out how to take accountability. Like this is somebody that wants to figure it out for themselves. And you can take how you resonate on that. Like, I mean, maybe they'll still seek therapy or something if they feel the need. Maybe they won't. Everybody's different in that regard. I was thinking about I was thinking about that this morning actually. I had this thought like, well, what if I went to therapy? And then I started laughing. I started laughing to myself because I had this second thought that I would go into therapy and I would therapize the therapist. Is that a word, therapize? I would give therapy to the therapist. And it made me chuckle. It made me laugh because it feels like something that would happen to me. Like I'd go in seeking some counsel, seeking some guidance, right? And then I'd be the one listening to them on this on the sofa. I've had that my whole life actually. I've always been deemed a really good listener. Like I literally have strangers come up to me and talk to me about stuff all the time since I was a kid. Like people would come up to me as a little kid and say stuff to me and want my little words of wisdom. I was a kid. I didn't know nothing. My ear just beeped. It didn't start ringing, it beeped. It like made this noise and stopped. Maybe like a tap tap. Like, hey, don't get too full of yourself down there. Trust me, I'm not full of myself. All right. I'm going to leave it there. Take from it what you will. I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you're entertained. I got 2 more decks, the Deck of the Undead, the Urban Crow Oracle. I'll do those sometime this afternoon, probably. Maybe this evening, but probably this afternoon before I meet my dad. I'm going to give him a call and see if he wants to do dinner later. Um, I hope everybody has a lovely day, a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.